Bob made a joke at another coworker's expense, which I thought was hilarious, by the way, and everyone laughed. And then I said, Bob, you're a savage. Unbeknownst to me, Bob is a quarter Native American.
I am the walrus, here with the Eggman, Cuckoo Kachoo, Cuckoo Kachoo.
Welcome to Advice Wednesday on MKUSUAL.
It's like MK Ultra, but more normal.
Hot damn.
Here's some advice for the Beatles. Don't write I Am the Walrus. That song fucking blows.
You bring that up a lot.
It bothers me so much. They're the greatest band of all time. I was listening to it last night because I was like, am I crazy? Am I overreacting to this?
Wait, you hate the song so much that you go back to listen to it to make sure you still hate it?
Yeah. I did that last night. I listened to all of Abbey Road. There's some fucking flops on that one too.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy.
It's not like their hits are good. They've withstood the test of time. But then it's just like they're like any other band. That's what I've come to the conclusion. It's like,
yeah,
anyone can write a great song. Maybe some bands can only write one. It's a one-hit wonder, but that's still a great song.
I would argue the Beatles wrote many great songs.
I agree.
You're gonna drop acid and write some stinkers, Nick.
That's true. I Am the Walrus, big stinker.
The thing I hate about stuff like that, or Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah. Dude,
okay, there is this, I think it's called Smiles. I want to do a reaction video with, I don't remember what it's called. Might be the Beach Boys Smile. Yeah, it's the Beach Boys Smile. Beach Boys Smile is the greatest album of all time. Brian Wilson was so obsessed with competing with that sound from Abbey Road.
Okay.
That because the Beatles released whatever. We're going to get to the advice. Okay, but look. So the Beatles, Pet Shop or Pet Sounds came out.
Pet Sounds.
Great album.
Fantastic.
All time. The sound of the album still, you put it on like your car, like on an MP3, and is insane. The depth of. Then Abbey Road, I believe, came out, and then Brian Wilson was like obsessed with like the two bands were like innovating so much with this shit.
Yeah.
Like this like psychedelic type. And so he was obsessed, so he started working on this album, Smile, and then he had a mental breakdown, and he didn't finish it. He finished it, I think, alone, using the old recordings in like the 2000s sometime.
Oh, fuck.
And it's finished version or like whatever he released is on YouTube, and it is like, I've never heard anything this bad. I would literally almost listen to like Cardi B if I had to take a road trip and put something on for an hour.
Okay.
It's so bad. And it's so trying to be.
I'm going to listen to it.
It's trying to be like psychedelic. You know that sound in cartoons that goes wee wee woo?
Yes. Yeah.
He uses that in like every song for some reason. Because it's like edgy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, that was all very off topic, but only 3 minutes. This is the day where we give advice to people out there hurting or wondering or something.
They're lost souls. They're adrift.
We're here to help you. Mm-hmm. Do you want to, can you start this week?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to decide where to start here.
I got one. This is user Transponster. Am I the asshole for not telling my ex where I spent the night? They need advice.
Okay.
So, for some background, I, 25 female, dated my ex, 25 male. Those are weird names for human beings.
Hello, I am 25 male.
For about 3 years and a few months. So you can imagine how we became best friends during our time together. We broke up because he had a bit too much fun on a boys' trip, if you know what I mean. They were doing the elephant walk.
I know. I don't know what you mean.
After that, we spent a few weeks no contact and then decided to rekindle our friendship but keep it platonic. Red flag. Yes, we would sleep with each other here and there, but we were still able to have boundaries, and we agreed that we would be seeing other people. We were even able to talk to each other about what was going on in our dating lives, and there was no issue there. That lasted for about a year and a half, which was the second relationship that they were in, which should have been more than enough time to get over any leftover romantic feelings, especially since we were both talking to other people, at least I thought. Anyways, there was one night where I went out to celebrate a friend's birthday with people he didn't know personally, and we all ended up at one of my friend's house for a giant adult sleepover. Parentheses, which was so fun, by the way. And I didn't mention anything about it to my ex, parentheses, because I see no reason to. And the next day when I get home, I get a call from him. It starts out normal, and then he decides to bring up where I was the night before, and I naturally laughed it off because I didn't think he was being serious, and he continues to ask me about it, mentioning that he's noticed my location at that house multiple times before.
Do they share their locations?
We still had each other's locations because we share locations with all our friends, so it was just normal for us.
Grow up.
That's not normal. It's normal for families and children.
Yeah.
Because he was making me feel uncomfortable, I just avoided answering, and then our phone call ended. After that, he just completely started ignoring me, no fight or anything. I'm assuming he thinks I was sleeping with some random dude, but there's no more communication between us, and I can't get this off my mind. If that was all that took for him to completely stop being friends with me, I just feel like our whole friendship meant nothing to him.
What?
I truly did value him as a person and a best friend, so am I the asshole for not just saying whose house I was at?
I hate these people.
Yeah.
I would love to know what happened on the boys' trip.
Yeah. I mean, it implies he cheated. That's kind of...
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or they went to a strip club?
I don't know.
What's a boys' trip? Boys' trip, usually... I don't know. I get usually boys' trip. I don't know.
Well, here's
All
what
the boys' trips I went on when I was that age were like we were just getting hammered and whatever chicanery and debauchery happened.
Yeah.
There were no boundaries, essentially. And
How old are they again?
24 and 25, I
Okay.
think. Oh, that's a different one. 25.
Okay.
Both 25.
But here's what I don't get. So he did something on... You're together 3 years. You describe him as your best friend.
So they were together for 3 years and a few months, and then they broke up, and then they were in their platonic fuck buddy thing for a year and a half. So it started when they were probably 19 or 20.
I don't get... Okay, here's what I don't get. You're together to the point where you're best... If you describe your partner as your best friend...
Right.
If I'm like, Katie is my best friend, like, that to me is like you're moving towards marriage. Mm-hmm. And obviously there were boundaries in their relationship that he crossed in some way, or she felt betrayed enough to break up with him. I don't understand how you just immediately are like, well, you broke my heart and crossed all our boundaries in the relationship, so now we're just fuck buddies and best friends. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Why wouldn't you try to repair the relation? If you're gonna fuck and be best friends, like, and have each other's locations on your phone, like, it sounds like you're in a relationship. You're in a relation. You're still in the relationship.
It's some kind of like weird, like, what's the word? Discord or like dissonant, cognitive dissonance.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say.
There's something has happened here where that's not a breakup. What happened was the terms of your relationship changed.
Yeah.
Like, me and you were dating, and you cheat on me, and I'm like, all right, well, now what's going to happen is everything's going to stay the same, but we're both going to fuck other people.
Me and the boys, we went to Branson, did some sucking, if you know what I mean. And then... super cleaned up analogy. Did some butt fucking, if you know what I mean. But it doesn't. That's step one. Boys trip.
That's step one of this. Is like it sounds like they never had an actual breakup.
It did say we broke up, so it's not like she broke up with him. Because I feel like she would have said I broke it off.
No, she broke it off.
Well, I know,
She didn't
but the
say
way
that.
she says it here is that she's still like, even in the breakup, they were, you know.
People don't take accountability, even when they're completely within their rights to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
She clearly, she said the reason they broke up is he had too much fun. That's not him breaking up with her.
No, she. Yeah. I don't know. Just.
And then,
all I have are these words to go by.
I know,
Really,
but
so-
just the circumstance is clearly that she broke up with him. But did she really? She didn't really. She just calls it a breakup and then changed the terms of the
Well,
relationship.
that's what I'm saying. She didn't like do it.
They still hang out. And, yeah. And
She
what do
didn't
you...
want it to end because she continued this weird
Right.
best friends with benefits who are in an open relationship with other people, and she said they were talking to and dating other people but not in relationships with other people. So it's like
Right.
she had an existential crisis. Okay, is she the asshole?
Actually, I'd say yeah.
If they're best friends, why is she hiding?
That's the issue. The issue is, why are you hiding it?
Right.
She feels like she did something wrong.
Yeah.
And whatever, have this whatever, I wouldn't even call that a relationship. Whatever this thing is you guys have, but like...
Let's take the best friend. Let's take friends at face value.
Okay. We're just friends that have sex.
Yeah, but let's just...
Okay.
They're just friends.
Okay.
They're friends. You lied to your friend. You omitted. You're the asshole.
And then he was like, it was enough for him that he wouldn't talk, but she still hasn't told him.
Correct.
Yeah, like why are you ashamed, or like why won't you tell him? What's going on?
And it also implied, because it said he noticed her location at this house.
Multiple times.
Yeah, so he seemed already suspicious, and possibly also she had avoided whatever adult sleepover type things happen there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's my quandary with this, because you're like, everything's super chill. We're just best friends who fuck, and we tell each other everything, even about the other people we fuck. But then, like, for some reason, whatever's going on in this house is like the one thing he can't know.
I mean, is it just fucking pajamas and Chex Mix and Shrek 2?
I think he just realized, right. But why would you not tell? See, this is why I don't like this person.
Is it sucking?
Is it sucking?
This
is what I don't like about this type of person, is like there's all these little red flags of accountability.
Yeah.
So like, and I'm not saying the boyfriend who whatever happened on the boys trip is right, or he's like morally cool or whatever, but like,
yeah, we only have her words to go by. So.
Yeah, but there's a lot of red flags there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red flags even in her own story, which is a good indication that there's way more if you heard the other side of the story.
Yes.
And it doesn't make, I think she's completely an asshole, because think about the terms of their super chill friends with benefits relationship. Mm-hmm. We're still best friends. We tell each other everything. She's not doing that anymore. So like, this guy probably wised up. He probably forgave himself for whatever happened on boys trip night. He's probably lingering around because this is the ghost of like his most serious relationship past. 3 years when you're in your early 20s, probably his most serious relationship.
It's a significant chunk of your life.
Yeah, at that point. Especially of your adult life. And so he has been somehow convinced himself, or she convinced him, to hang around in this weird scenario. He probably hasn't been super cool with it. He had her exclusively and lost her, and now he's in this fucked up thing that he can't get out of.
Yeah.
And then now he's brain fucked himself in this polyamory thing. Would always brain fucks people. I've never met a person in one of those things, even if they're like my friend, who the longer you hear them talk, they've just brain fucked themselves. He brain fucked himself to be okay with this situation, and now she won't even tell. Now she's taken away one of the few things you have, which is that honesty.
Yeah.
So it's like, what else is there for him? Literally, he lost the exclusivity. He's now lost the honesty. So literally the only thing he has is a crumb of pussy now and again. So to him, you have now become the sometimes I get a crumb of pussy from this strange chick who's out running around. You know what I mean? You blew it. But you can't handle rejection to the extent where you keep your ex-boyfriends around. People who keep their exes around, in my opinion, I understand you can be, I have exes I'm like legitimately friends with because we were friends before you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who keep people around like that and still want to like sometimes, but that is a self-esteem issue.
Right.
You can't handle breaking this off and going your own way. You have to think this person still likes you and is into you. And what really bothers her in this circumstance is that she can't have it her way all the time.
She can't have her cake and suck it too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's a lighthearted one.
Okay.
This is from user Western Woolpack. Am I the asshole for calling my new coworker a savage? So there's this new guy at the place I work. For the sake of privacy, I'll call him Bob. Today, Bob, a few other coworkers, and I were joking around after a meeting. Bob made a joke at another coworker's expense, which I thought was hilarious, by the way, and everyone laughed. And then I said, Bob, you're a savage. Unbeknownst to me, Bob is a quarter Native American. Bob got angry at me, called me a racist. I immediately apologized and let him know I didn't mean anything like that, but he was still very upset. I got a notification a couple hours ago, and it looks like I'm scheduled to meet with HR tomorrow. Would I be the asshole for using the term, or is that generally an acceptable term when used in that context?
Ooh, thin line there.
Ooh.
I mean,
Bob sounds like a dickhead. It starts out with him making a joke at another coworker's expense.
Right.
Which was apparently pretty savage.
Colloquially, savage does not imply any...
No, the word's changed.
There's a colloquial use for it, and yes, does come with a history of talking about native peoples in a derogatory way, obviously. Did he learn that he was native after he called him a savage? Probably, because Bob got upset.
He said, unbeknownst to me.
Okay, yeah. Why are you upset? And then, okay. Is he an asshole? His intentions were not malicious, so I'm saying no.
He was complimenting Bob.
He was like...
I think Bob's an asshole. I think Bob should have been like, hey, buddy, just so you know.
Right, yeah.
You don't go narc to the guy for like racial shit in the workplace.
Yeah.
That's an odd, I mean, depending on, this sounds like it's taking place in an office.
For some reason, I was imagining a warehouse, but yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Same thing, I don't know why.
Okay, that could be the case.
Who knows?
I would say not the asshole because it was unintentional.
Yeah. I mean, like, if it was like, his name's obviously not Bob, but if it was like Bob Longfeather, and he's, like
Bob Wolf.
Was there any clue? Or was it like Bob, crew cut polo khakis like everybody else who happens to have native heritage, and then...
Depends on which grandpa, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I would say it doesn't, because here's my argument for why it doesn't. Words have multiple meanings, which would exactly be Bob's and HR's excuse as to why he shouldn't have said this word in the workplace. One of the definitions of savage is just that you're like savaging somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I would call a guy a savage if he like made a sick tackle. You know what I mean? Or if, there's lots of ways to use that word. It doesn't always mean. So I would say, one, it's entirely unintentional. But two, he literally wasn't referring to your heritage.
Yes.
Like if Bob came in wearing like a t-shirt that said like Ottawa Nation, he goes, "You savage." Like that would be using the word in that context.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some words have no context. The N-word, there's virtually no context. Like a white person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't make that mistake with that word. But here's another one. Okay, like master. Some people have been upset about like master bedroom. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
just because a word, I don't know. I think it's okay to disagree on this one, but it's not okay to disagree on the next one. No, I'm just kidding. I get what you're saying, Bob Horsefeather or whatever. Your turn.
Okay.
Well, actually, here's a real short one. This is not on Am I the Asshole? Okay. While you're looking, this one's really short. It's from Our Advice. Okay. I just want to know what your take is on it. I feel like this one's easy. I found my worker's wife on Tinder. Long story short, found my coworker and good friend wife on Tinder. What should I do? I feel compelled to tell him, but I'm uneasy about it. Oh, maybe it's not so easy.
I don't know. If you were married and everything else, and I lived here with you and your wife, and we were all roommates.
No, when I get married, me and you are still gonna live together and podcast. My wife will live next door.
If that happened,
okay,
I would tell you.
Okay,
but I don't know how to tell someone else to whether or not they should.
Okay, it scares me a little bit that you were a little hesitant to tell me. I would want to know.
No, I would tell you.
Okay.
I know how I feel about that. I just...
If it was like...
He says good friend, but they're probably met at work, so there is probably some...
I don't even know if he says good friend.
He says friend, maybe?
Oh, coworker and good friend.
Okay.
The top comment is swipe right.
Well, that's the other thing. Because sometimes, people be swiping, and then you get a match, and what if he figured it out because they matched? Then I would be
interesting. Oh.
But he obviously knows that's his wife, so...
I feel like this is 100% you tell that dude.
Yeah.
People should look out for each other.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, here's the side argument. What if they have an open relationship and then you're just like poking around? But you've already witnessed her into it.
I did have that thought too. Like maybe he just doesn't know something about their marriage.
Right, which means you could be inviting like an inappropriate discussion, like where he would feel, well, now your friend is either compelled to tell you about
or maybe
the workings of his marriage.
Or the friend is on the roster now and then their dynamic of their friendship changes. These are all hypotheticals. If standard, monogamous relationship, but she's stepping outside that, yeah, tell him. I'm with you on that.
Here's what I'm saying. It's kind of a little bit of a conundrum because you may not know they do that.
Yeah.
Which means you put him in a position where he either has to tell you this intimate thing about him and his wife,
right?
Which is weird. Or he has to lie to you and then like make you think he's just being cucked. It puts him in a weird...
Yeah.
But I feel like that's... Everything I just described is awkwardness. That's not a broken marriage.
Yeah.
You have to tell him. User...
I agree.
What's your username? Blazed Chicken? You tell your friend. Dude, you want to know. Is there any... Actually, this is a good comment. If you're watching, I would love to hear from somebody who wouldn't want to know. Who would just want to live in bliss. Do those people exist?
Okay, let's take the 80-20 rule. Who are you putting in the 80 category? Want to know or don't want to know?
I would say the vast majority of people would want to know if their spouse was cheating or their significant other.
Okay.
They would not get mad at you for telling them at all.
Yeah.
I would say at least 90%. But I would be interested to hear the perspective of somebody who either wouldn't want to know or who has known somebody who wouldn't want to know and is like has heard this argument.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, your turn.
This is from user ThrowRAXBX. Am I the asshole for faking an orgasm with my partner every time?
Female?
I, 24 female, had 3 sexual partners until now with whom I was in serious relationships. The sex has gotten better and more enjoyable with each of them, and my current partner, 31 male, is absolutely incredible. We have great chemistry, we have sex almost every day, I am happy with the way he looks and he is happy with the way I look. We try a bunch of different things in the bedroom and it is never boring. It is our playtime and we love it. We explore fantasies, new places.
We cherish each other's bodies. I'm like, okay, we get it.
We worship at the temple of each other's
genitals.
We explore fantasies, new places. We can have it romantic or kinky. It's all good.
This person's too open. First of all, what did the first 3 people you fucked have to do with any of this? You just wanted to tell everybody every time I'm with a guy, it gets kinkier and better. It's like this doesn't even have anything to do with that. Okay, anyway.
Okay, although the sex is really great, I've never been able to finish together for almost 1.5 years.
This is actually a fairly common thing with women.
And I never was even close to finish with him. I don't know if there's something wrong with me because I can make myself finish in seconds when I'm alone. I can't finish in any way, not during sex, not during oral, not even if I interfere. I didn't want to ruin the experience, and most of the time I fake the orgasm. Sometimes I don't have the energy because it does feel great and I do really enjoy it and don't want him to feel bumped about it.
Probably bummed.
Bummed, yeah, okay. The only time I ever finished after he went down on me... Wait, okay, hold on. I skipped a line. The only time I ever finished with a partner was with my first boyfriend, and it happened after he went down on me for almost 30 minutes, and even that was not a full-on orgasm. I tried everything.
Wait, what does that mean? I finished, but it wasn't an orgasm? Which I've never had.
Well, this was with her first boyfriend.
Okay, I know, but...
I tried everything. I am not comfortable with telling him that I am faking it, so please don't suggest that. Do you have any tips on how to overcome this obstacle? Shit, what the hell did I do? Maybe someone experienced something similar. Doesn't want to tell him. Never had an orgasm, despite having the best sex she's ever had in her life. Only one orgasm from a partner.
But she said she didn't. She said, I finished, but I didn't have a full-on orgasm.
I think she's comparing it to the orgasm she gives herself, which she considers...
Oh, that I forgot about it.
Orgasms.
I forgot that. Okay.
Yeah. Which, okay, I'll say this. If I have a crank, doesn't feel the same as sexual acts with a partner. I will just say... If I gave one the definition...
I'd say for me, I would guess for men and women it's reversed. I would guess that like...
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's distinct. And
let's cut to the masturbation cam. Sorry, go ahead. It's distinct. I agree with you.
And to compare it to getting a hand job... doesn't compare at all. So I can see how she would feel like if I had only jerked off and gotten hand jobs from women and I said the orgasms I had were full, big ropes, they're fully shooting ropes to the ceiling, and then had the same experience from a woman that didn't quite, they hit the fan or the light but didn't touch the ceiling, I would... You know what I'm saying.
You know, no, kind of.
A hand is not just a hand. That's all I'm saying. I know how to do it exactly like I need to. I feel like she is saying she knows exactly. But then it's like,
Yeah, and she's probably using like toys and shit.
okay, the point is like, she's lied to this person who she's had sex with almost every day for a year and a half.
Is faking an orgasm lying?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. She's choosing to do it at this point because she doesn't want to tell him. It's just okay. Maybe it's not a lie if it's withholding the truth,
Okay.
which is lying.
I guess on like a Jordan Peterson level.
But here's the other, like, you could just have a conversation, because I had a partner like this.
Uh-huh. Every partner I've had has never come. No, I'm just kidding. No, just kidding.
But we fooled around a lot. We matched on Tinder, and that was basically the extent of our relationship. And I would say, like, I would check in, how you doing? She's like, she said she's never had an orgasm from sex.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I feel like for younger, and I don't know.
This was like 12,
all I have is
this was like 12 years ago. We were around 20s age.
I just feel
she was a couple years younger.
And I'm not just talking about people I've been with. I have a good amount of female friends who have essentially told me like they didn't really start enjoying sex to that level or like having consistent or until like time.
Right.
It like you have to, sometimes it could be your partner, sometimes it could be the way you feel about yourself or like your ability to let go, or you know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot that goes into like orgasming.
You know that scene in Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
Where he gets on the machine and it's like they're going, and then all the fucking whipped cream comes out and he's like cranking all these levers. It's like, that's what it's like probably. The first time he got on that machine, there's no way he cranked all the foam out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, so is this an Am I the Asshole? I lost the plot.
Yes.
Okay. So is she an asshole for faking orgasms?
For not telling him that she's faking.
Oh, God.
I know my answer. It's you're a little jerk. You're not an asshole. Because I get, male egos are fragile. It could be detrimental to their relationship and their sex that they're having. But an honest and direct conversation could get them to a point where,
well, yes,
it improves the situation.
Okay, I agree.
And their relationship outside of the bedroom.
I agree with all of this, except for that I'm just not there on her being a jerk, and I'll tell you why. It's not the male ego thing. One, she's already where she's at. She's been faking this for a period of time.
A year and a half.
I think to just come out and say, I need to tell you something. I've been like faking. I don't know if that's going to help. I think it's going to put him in tilt.
You could approach. Okay, go on. Sorry.
I don't think, and yes, it would be an ego thing, but I don't know. To come to somebody you've been having sex with for that long and that you're like in a serious way, and to just say, by the way, I've essentially I've been lying to you about how good it is. I think that could put him in tilt, and which would in turn put her into a type of tilt. I'm trying not to be too graphic and like tell too many personal experiences here, but like, and I've never had this experience where somebody comes and says, I've been faking it for a year, but like, I just feel like, in my experience,
you're making them bust no matter what.
No. But I will say this.
You just can't even help it.
I will say this, in my experience, and not just me in the bedroom, just people, you have friends throughout your life, they talk about their relationships and they talk about, I just find that a lot. This isn't an uncommon thing for younger women, like I've said a million times. But like, I think the things she wants to achieve, she should figure out in herself, what's going on with herself. Or like, is it her partner? Is there something that she would like him to do? Or maybe she's just like feels more. I honestly think, dude, this is what I honestly think. I think young people are so self-conscious, can be self-conscious when they're having sex in a way that you lose over time.
That's true.
And I think it's probably not uncommon. And I think with dudes, okay, this manifests a lot of young dudes get like addicted to porn and shit.
Yeah.
And then they have trouble performing with like real women. I see this as what is that? What does that mean? For a woman, we call it, you didn't make an orgasm. When the dude, we just say like, you couldn't get it up. You couldn't do it. It's like the man can't achieve. Either way, it's like the man achieving something. The man achieves his own orgasm and the man achieves her orgasm. You would never say if a dude had trouble getting it up. We never say in society, or has trouble finishing or has trouble like maintaining erection. You never say like, oh, the woman can't make him come.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in reality, and this is another thing I've learned from younger people, this porn shit, or like kids are taking Viagra now super young, which I feel like has to fuck with you. Yeah. Or they're doing drugs that fuck with your cardiovascular system, which Viagra does too. But also like the porn thing. So what I feel like happens with younger people in sex is like they are in their own heads. They got like weird. And this is the other thing with jacking off or masturbating for women. Like, okay, if you're using like this high-powered vibrator thing and you're watching like this super kinky porn, you know what I mean? It's gonna have a very similar effect to dudes who are like popping Viagra and gooning off for 3 hours. We talk about men and women so different, but we're really not that different. We talk about like porn epidemic and like now dudes can't get off to women, but like you never talk about women and how they have trouble getting off. You just say, well, the guy couldn't make her come. But at the end of the day, what's happening with stuff like that, and I'm not a licensed sex therapist or anything, I just feel like from my life experience, from the people I know and talk to, and I feel like younger people have more hang-ups. You're coming out of adolescence. Your brain isn't fully formed until you're 25. She's 24. She's been with this guy for a year. You're talking about a 22-year-old, someone who was in high school 3 or 4 years ago. And adolescents, when you're an adolescent, you constantly feel watched. You're self-aware in a way that's very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You're not used to being seen. You think everyone's talking about you. You think people are thinking about that pimple. And I feel like that goes into your early 20s. You're not as mature as you think, and it affects your sex life. And then on top of that, you're shooting mad ropes or using the fucking Hitachi Bulldozer 9000 and watching fucking weird porn.
Yeah.
And she's, and here's another aspect. She's talking about her past partners and stuff in this in a way that really isn't super relevant other than one time a guy made her come. And it's like, so she's obviously like comparing this to other experiences. I just feel like these people aren't letting go in the moment.
Yeah. Well, here's something. For me, I get the insecurity thing because until I was 38, I just pulled my dick through my boxers.
Wait, are you serious?
No.
I was like, whoa, that's a huge admission.
But I get it. Like,
I feel like
I'm just out here fucking Porky Piggin, like shirt up top, nothing on the bottom.
I feel like not. I guess we'll disagree. I don't feel like she's the asshole. I feel like here's the thing. Here's the other thing. If you feel like you have to fake cum every time, probably in her past relationships too, she's probably doing it with the other 3 guys.
Yeah.
It means that you have a certain expectation about what sex is supposed to look like. You have a certain expectation about
what... She probably got this expectation from watching porn.
Right.
And like the awareness that they are faking it sometimes. I don't know. And then that's what guys are watching, so that's what they expect. She's like trying to fulfill this expectation
for them
that she thinks they have. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can't have all that mental stuff going on and fully relax. That's the only way you're gonna fucking you know, no, a dude,
I
a dude
agree.
can come in a dark alley, with the thought that someone might knife him. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm in agreement. She is not the asshole. I do, however, stand by. She's a little jerk. I give her a little jerk award, pun intended, because it may be an awkward conversation, but it's one that needs to happen. It's not like he will find out she was faking. But, I agree with what you've said. She needs to get to a place with herself where she can, go in the moment and that.
But having that conversation just adds more layers. She could stop. My first advice would be
If
to
she's
stop
going
faking it.
into it knowing she has to fake it, it's never going to happen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She's going to be doing the things that you're saying. It's going to be like turning those extra wheels, and she's not going to be. So, if you just get rid of that, then you're at least at a place where you can build from. That's what I'm trying to say.
If it will make her feel, this is the whole, if it makes you feel better, but not the other person, I don't know.
Because she has a history of only one out of hundreds of times she's had sex where someone has gotten her halfway there.
Right.
And so it's not him, it is her. And so the onus is on her for her own sake. If that's something she wants even. Maybe she doesn't want to bust.
You can have good sex and not you know what I mean?
Right.
She.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying
And
about
then-
that partner I had earlier. She was like, I love the sex we have. I just don't orgasm with sex. Mm-hmm. She orgasms with herself. She
Yeah, that's
has had other type.
Do you? Okay. Here's a philosophical question. Where do you draw the line between faking an orgasm and just? Maybe I've answered my own question. And just doing or saying things to that you, because you're gonna do and say things during sex to make sure your partner feels good, make sure you're enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? Like every doesn't have to be completely involuntary.
Yeah.
Every word you say doesn't have to be fucking speaking in tongues. You can do and say things they like.
Yeah.
Without being a big liar.
When a woman says, "Oh, baby, butter my biscuits," I know I'm doing a good job.
Why do they all say that?
I don't know. But if your biscuits are buttered, I know I did my job. Why do they all say
I'm with you. Yeah. Okay. Here's my final advice. What do you want?
That's
Does it bother you that you're not coming with him? If not,
right. You don't need to. She's fucking twisting off on her own just fine.
if also here's a question. Look inside yourself. Ask you maybe why is it are you a porn addict? You know what I mean? Is there something you want him?
Maybe that's why she can't tell him, because she knows that she's in this loop of avoiding some other question.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Or is this emblematic of bad communication in the bedroom? If you feel like you have to do it a certain way every time and give him the same cues and fake these orgasms, is that emblematic that you in general are not talking it out and
They could both be going through the motions.
Either that or she's too scared to she didn't even really know what she wants because she's so thinking about I gotta give him a good time that she's not even thinking about how it could be better for both of them.
Right.
If she just fucking communicated and let go, and you know what I mean? So yeah, I agree. I would say don't tell him. It's gonna twist his little brain. It's gonna twist his little dick. But I would say you gotta start thinking about yourself and what you need and want out of sex in a relationship, and maybe try some new things or whatever. Or be more communicative. Do it different. Don't fake it next time. Just stop.
Yep.
See what happens. I don't know. I'm still with Nick though. I agree. You're right. She should probably. I don't know. I'm not a huge honesty guy. I just don't. I can see it adding to the problem.
Yeah.
But you're right. It might be getting it off her chest. She's got to figure out why she's worried so much about making him think she's come.
Yeah.
And what that could be a sign of. And what other things are affected by that attitude. What's the underlying attitude to this action, and what else is that affecting?
I'm going to go back to this post and post the link to this podcast in the comments.
We should do that for all of these.
That's actually a great idea.
You should start a Reddit account and like clip the videos.
Yeah.
Oh, get ready for some fucking hate.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
Unsolicited. Well, I guess it's solicited.
We talk shit on Reddit. Oh, it's completely okay what we're doing. How about this? User unlikely ad 1530. How should I respond to my boyfriend saying it's disgusting that I squirted? Sorry if this is too much TMI. My boyfriend, 25, told me he didn't want to have sex anymore because I squirted. This was the first time I've ever done it. He told me it was pee and that it disgusted him. I feel terrible for what I did. This is the exact opposite problem. I didn't mean for it to happen.
I feel terrible for what I did.
I didn't mean for it to happen. Is there any way to prevent this from happening? I feel so embarrassed. How should I approach him with this?
Okay.
This is literally the exact opposite. She's like, I'm having so much fun during sex with my boyfriend. First of all, it is pee.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
Okay. This is a fucking horny episode, I've realized.
This is a horny ass episode. Savage.
Okay, I'll say this. I was with the partner I was with at the time. I was doing mouth stuff, mouth to south.
I love how I don't want to get too into details and you just like, let's go.
Was doing mouth to south. She squirted in my mouth, face, nose hole, and everywhere. Not like, it was like
in your nose.
I mean, I was right there.
Yeah, I know.
And it was unintentional. It wasn't like, stand back, I'm gonna nuke the Hoover Dam. I didn't know it was coming. She didn't. It was kind of involuntary, and it's disgusting. Because it's pee. But I'm fucking just a chill guy like that. I just kept going.
This boyfriend, yeah,
he's not a chill guy.
He told her it's disgusting.
Yeah, that's weird to like shame her in that way, because she's like obviously like, how do I make it stop? Like that's her fucking question.
Right.
It's like, how do I enjoy sex less? Like
if something like that happened, he should, if it really did disgust him, which is okay. You're not supposed to just be automatic. This is what I think's so gay about these Reddit people. You should have seen the comments on this. Dude, the way they fetishize women is so gay. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I've often said, if you have no preference for the type of woman you want to be with or the type of sex you want to have with a woman, you are this close. You were this right on this line. Because it's just that attitude where it's like, any titty is a titty. And it's like, you straight, brother. Like, you have no preference. You have you look at every woman on earth and you're like, if she'll let me fuck, I'll fuck. Like, that to me is so closeted.
It's
so closeted because it's like any hole's a hole. It's this close to like it's a hole, ain't it? It's a mouth, ain't it?
It's all pink on the inside.
yeah, it's that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's fine to not want to be with someone who's going to be doing this all the time. Like, if you don't want to get peed on during sex, like, that's your prerogative. It's your prerogative. But to call her disgusting and shame her, Your boyfriend is 100% the asshole.
Yeah.
He should have, if it grossed him out that bad, he should have been like, I've never experienced that. I've never been with a woman who's done that. Like, can you describe to me? Let's research what this is and why it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now that's, what if this is a deal breaker? What if she just squirts all? You just getting her off so hard. Well, okay. You know what? Problem's fucking solved, dude. You shamed your girlfriend so much, you're never gonna get her off like that again. So, problem solved.
Yeah.
She will think about this every time. She will think about the time. Women think about times where you look at them wrong for years.
Yeah.
Or little things you say. She will never live this down. You're in your early mid-20s. You can break up. She can get married and be with a guy for 60 years and have 18 grandchildren and 24 great-grandchildren and die on Mars. And she will think about the time that she squirted on you and you called it disgusting. This will never leave her brain.
That's true.
So it doesn't matter who's the asshole. It's problem solved.
Well, I think that's a good note to end on.
I'm so ashamed of this episode.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's my puritanical guilt.
I'm embarrassed I didn't describe my lewd acts in more detail. Because I'm being dishonest with myself.
Damn. All right. Next time, tune in to hear me talk about my peen.
Your penor.
Well, Nick listens. We love you.
We love you.
Costco. Welcome to Costco. We love you.
Bye.
Wait, how do you do the...
Oh, it's like that. We love you.